Hi, in this video I am going to talk about the different forms of tenses in English language. Please subscribe to my channel to get more videos. There are basically three types of tenses in English. One is the present tense, the past tense and the future tense. As the name suggests, present tense is about present, past tense is about past, and future tense is about the future. But it's not that simple. We often get confused about using different forms of tenses in our day-to-day language. We get confused as to whether we should be using the present tense or the past tense, or which form of the present tense or which form of the past tense. Simple present is used when you do something on a regular basis, or something is a habit. For instance, I eat rice. That means I usually eat rice. Okay, I play football. I usually play football. So that's something, a habit. You do it on a regular basis. You have been doing it. You are currently doing it. You will also be doing it in future. So a habit is written or spoken in the simple present form. So what is the simple present form? You simply use the first form of the verb. I eat rice. I play football. Okay, so I play. So play is the first form of the verb, and that's used in the simple present. Okay, I visit my home every Sunday. Right, it's something that you do on a regular basis. That's why you use the simple present form write or to even speak. So we use the first form of the verb. That's something we need to remember. We also use simple present to talk about the natural truth, or something that is true. Okay, sun rises in the east. This is a truth, right? It's completely true. It's a natural truth. London is the capital of England. This is a fact. This is just a fact. So this is also should be written in simple present form. Now you might be wondering, how is this a simple present when we haven't really used a verb? Well, we actually have used a verb in this sentence. So is the verb, or the main verb here. Often this is confused, that people think that is not a main verb, it is auxiliary verb, but it is also can be used as a main verb, and it has been used as a main verb here. Okay, so be is actually a main verb, and be has various forms. Okay, so it is, am, are in the present, was and were in the past, and shall and will in the future. Okay, so be is the main verb, and it has various forms that can be used in different types of sentences based on whether it's present, past or future. So London is the capital of England. It is a simple present tense, and we are using is as the main verb. Sunday is a holiday. Similarly, the way we are written, London is the capital of England, Sunday is a holiday, is also a fact. And is the main verb. And what is the form? It is the first form, right? The first form of be. That's why it's a simple present tense. We also use simple present tense when something is scheduled or something is in the calendar. The meeting starts at 3 p.m. The meeting starts at 3 p.m. Well, the meeting could be in future, but it is scheduled, or it is there in the calendar. Something fixed in the calendar is something has been scheduled. Then we also use simple present. Now you might be wondering, why don't we write start? Why starts? If it is a singular, if the subject is a singular, then we use s, an additional s. Okay, starts instead of start. We use the s when the subject is he or she, like he plays football, not play football, plays football. So this is one thing to remember. But so he is a singular, right? But if you use I is a singular, but we do not use plays, we rather use play. So one thing to remember. So with he and she, we use plays instead of play. Similarly, with other verbs, we'll have to use s, okay, an additional s when we have she or he or any other singular verb. Like, we can write, let's say, Ram plays football. So Ram is singular, and then hence we are using plays instead of play. But if you use they play football. So here it is a plural, so we use play instead of plays. Alright. The festival starts on 3rd of January. The festival is something that falls on the same day in a year, and it is already pre-scheduled. It's some kind of a fact, hence we use the simple present. It's singular, hence we use. Also different forms of the sentence, like you can use in negative sense. You can also use the interrogative sense. So interrogative sense is basically asking question, and negative sense is basically taking the negative form of the sentence. I do not eat rice. I do not go to school. So when we have I, we use do. So we always use do in order to write the negative form of the simple present tense. I do not play football. So whenever we want to write the negative form of the simple present, we have to take the help of do. Depending on what is the subject, if it is I, then we use do. If it is he and she, we use does. And if there is any other singular form, we also use does. Okay, so he does not go to school. She does not go to school. So with he and she, we use does, not do. So that we need to remember. They do not go to school. So they is a plural, hence we do not use does, we use do. Sam does not sleep on time. Sam is singular, so we use does. But remember, I is singular, but I is an exception. It's a special case when we do not use does, we use do. So that we need to keep in mind. So interrogative sentence is just about asking question. Interrogate this. Do you go to school every day? Does he go to school? Does Lena eat rice? Do they eat meat? Now what are the differences? Well, when you have a singular and it is not I, we use does. Like does he, does she, does Lena. Lena is singular, right? It's a single person, hence we use does. But for plural, we use do. Do they eat meat? Okay. Do you go to school every day? So with you do not use does. You is singular, but is an exception in interrogative sentence. It's a special case, so we use do. Now this is something we need to remember. It's slightly confusing because you also is singular, but we use do. But he and she, Lena, they are all singular, but we use does. This is just a special case. Use do. I and you are the special case here. Are special. They are not the general class. Special cases of singular class where you use do instead of does. But for other singular classes like he, she, or maybe the names like Ram, Sam, whatever name, we use does instead of do, whether it is negative sentence or the interrogative sentence. The next form of present tense that we'll be talking about is simple continuous. So simple continuous is used when you are doing something in present. I am eating rice now. So somebody is just asking the questions, what are you doing? And then your answer is, I am eating rice now. That means it's a continuous process. It's not finished yet. Something to be kept in mind is that it's not finished yet and it's still continuing. Hence, you're saying, I am eating rice now. I am watching TV now. I am playing football with friends now. So something that's happening now and it's not finished yet, we use simple continuous. Okay. We can also use simple continuous to say something in future also. It's a very special case we need to keep in mind. But we also school on Monday. So Monday is going to come in future and I am going to go to school. That we can say in simple continuous form, but that will mean in future. Okay. So I am going to go to school is a simple continuous statement, but it is denoting for future, or it's used for future. Rain is going to happen tomorrow. So tomorrow is future, but we are using a simple continuous statement to talk about future. Okay, so this is very special, and you need to just remember these special sentences or more stylish sentences where you can use simple continuous to talk about future. He is planning to come home tomorrow. So tomorrow is future, but he is planning is simple continuous. But that we are talking about future. We can also talk about the negative and the interrogative sentence in simple continuous. Negative sentence could be I am not going to school these days. So you're basically talking about something that you are not doing anymore. They are not eating rice today. So it can be used in 2 days, in 2 ways. I am not going to school these days. Here is an example of the negative form of simple continuous tense. I am not watching football match now. If somebody is going to ask you, are you watching football match now? Your answer should be, I am not watching football match now. If you're not watching currently, then your answer should be, I am not watching. Okay, you simply add not to it. Okay, and that becomes a negative sentence. Similarly, you are not eating lunch now. You simply add not to the sentence. The interrogative sentence is just a questioning sentence or a sentence used to question something. And how do we write it? We simply take the auxiliary verb to the beginning and then form the sentence. Okay, are you not watching football now? Are you not watching football now? Or are you watching football now? Okay, so both would be interrogative. Are you interrogative sentence? Are you not watching football is also an interrogative sentence. Is he not eating rice today? Is he eating rice today? Both are interrogative sentence. Are they not going to the party today? Or are they going to the party today? Both are interrogative sentence. So it starts with auxiliary verb, right? It starts with is or are depending on what is the subject, right? With you, you're going to use are. With he or she or with a name like Ram, Sham, Geeta, Sita, you're going to use each. Similarly, if it is a plural, you're also going to use are. They are, right? So that's the way you write an interrogative sentence in simple continuous form. The next form of tense or the simple tense we're going to discuss is the simple perfect. So this is when we have completed something and it has a relevance to the present. So there are two conditions. One is the task should be completed, and the second should be it has relevance to the present. Then we use the simple perfect, and I'm going to give examples to make you understand. I have already cooked lunch. Somebody asks you the question, have you already cooked lunch? Your answer should be yes, I have already cooked lunch. That means the task is complete. So the task is now completed and it has relevance to the present because somebody is asking you this question in present, that have you cooked lunch? Somebody is asking you now, and then your answer should be I have cooked lunch. Okay, I have come to see you. Okay, somebody has come to your home and he says I have come to see you. So task has completed, that means he has already come to your place. And secondly, it has relevance to the present because you're talking in present, right? You're talking to the person in his house in present, hence it has relevance to the present. I have made this video. Okay, so I've already made this video. Now I'm talking to you about this video, and hence this is simple perfect. Sometimes simple perfect is also a bit confusing. Like look at this sentence, I have had dinner. Okay, so we have used have, so this is simple perfect, but we have also used had. You might think that this is past perfect, but had here, this is the main verb. not the auxiliary verb. Okay, the main verb, and this has been used to let in replacement of the verb eat. Okay, so sometimes we use had instead of it to talk about eating. Okay, so I just had my dinner, I just ate my dinner. Okay, both are more or less the same, but we often use had or have to talk about eating, the activity of eating, and hence we should not confuse with that. So auxiliary and the main verb. So auxiliary verb should be having either has or have. Okay, so for with you have done it, she has done it. Okay, so with he and she we use has instead of have. With singular forms, right, let's say Ram has done this. Similarly, with any other name we can simply use has instead of have. And with plural form like they, we use have. They have done it. Okay, another confusing sentence I'll talk about. Okay, let's say I have a pen. What is the tense of this particular sentence? Whether you have used have, right? So most people, and some people, not most, some people think this is a simple perfect tense. This is wrong. Third form of the year. So in order to know whether a sentence is a simple perfect, you just have to see two things. First, look at whether you have used has and have. It must have either has and have. Okay, and the main verbs should be of third form. Cook, cooked, cooked. So here we have the third form. Okay, but here the main verb itself is have. Okay, we haven't used the third form, which is had. Hence this is not a simple perfect. I have a pen is simply the simple present tense. Okay, because it simply has one main verb, which is have, and it's the first form of that verb, not the third form. So there are two conditions to say that something is a simple perfect. One is it should have either has and have, and the main verb should be third form. So it doesn't have has and have as an auxiliary verb, but it has have as a main verb, but it's the first form, not the third form. Hence it is not a simple perfect tense. Okay, it's just a simple present tense. I go to school, right? I go, that means go is the first form, hence it is simple present. I eat rice. I have a pen. He is a man, right? So that's simple present. Although there is have here, it's still not a simple perfect tense. That we need to keep in mind. Yeah, we can also talk about the negative and interrogative sentence. We simply have to use not in order to say this in negative form. I have not cooked lunch yet. He has not completed the homework. They have not gone to the party. Interrogative sentence like have you cooked lunch? Okay, you simply take the auxiliary verb to the beginning and it becomes interrogative. Have you cooked lunch? Have you not cooked lunch? That both are interrogative. Have they gone to the party? Have they not gone to the party? Have they not gone to the party? And have they gone to the party? Both are interrogative because both are questioning forms, right? Has she gone to the school? With she and he will have has. With they will have have. With you, although it is a singular, we still have have. There's an exception, right? We talked about exception in the previous slide. The next form of tense we'll talk about here is the simple present continuous. So it is present and it is continuous. And so what is that? Something that you have been doing for a while. Okay, that means let's say this is past, this is present. So it started somewhere in the past, but it's still going on. So that is, you do not know when the end is going to be. Okay, and it's still in continuing. Okay, it's still continuing. Then you use simple present continuous. I have been working in this company since 2010. So 2010 is past. We are talking in 2018. Okay, so 2010 is past, and the person is working since 2010 and is still working with the same company in 2018. Hence, you are using simple present continuous. I have been working in this company since 2010. I have been working. Okay, so you are using been and working. Okay, I have worked, so it is completed, right? But if it is continuing, you simply use been and working, right? So this ing is important. It has to have that ing thing. Okay, so I have been working in this company since 2010. If it is completed, I have worked. You would have used that sentence, right? We have been knowing each other for 20 years now. So we started knowing each other 20 years back. We still know each other very much. So we have been knowing each other for 20 years now. Reena has been suffering from fever since Monday. So, somebody asked you this on Wednesday. Okay, so it happened. The fever happened to Reena on Monday, which is past, and she is still suffering from fever even today, right? He's suffering. Hence, you say Reena has been suffering from fever since Monday. Okay, so we use has, but we're also using been and suffering just to say that it's still continuing, right? That's where we're using ing. I have not been working in this company for a long time. So this is just the negative format. I have been working in this company since 2010. I have not been working in this company since 2010. So you're simply adding not. Okay. And how do you say this in question form? How do you use in interrogative way? How long have you been working? This is very important. Slightly complicated, but very important. How long have you been working? Okay. Some people use it in a different way. How long are you working in this company? That's wrong. You cannot say like that. You cannot ask someone like that. How long have you been working? That means somebody has been working since past. It's still continuing, right? Let's say somebody started in 2010. In 2018, you are asking him questions. For how long you have been working? Okay, he's still working with the company. It's still not end for him, and he started somewhere in past. So in that case, you start how long have you been working? Okay, or how long have you been eating? That means you see somebody eating now, but you do not know when he started eating. He might have started half an hour ago. So you ask him, how long have you been eating? Okay, so you see somebody dating someone, and then you ask, you do not know since when he or she has started dating the other person. You ask him, how long have you been dating the other person? Okay, so have you been is a very important. Have you been working or have you been dating is the way to ask a question in this form when something is continuing but it started somewhere in past. Of tense, we'll talk about the past tense, the future tense in the next video. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.